Hey, it's Ramon. Most people are working too hard, and it's because they feel separate from what they're trying to create. They force themselves into massive action to make up for their misalignment of energy. And as a result, their relationships suffer, their health suffers, and they burn out. Now, I know this cycle pretty darn well. In 2018, I was sitting in the dark with my wife and 5-year-old daughter at the time on the floor of our apartment. My daughter looked at me and asked, "Dad, why aren't the lights on?" And I said we were playing camp out because I didn't have the heart to tell her that we couldn't pay our electric bill. Next morning, I looked in the mirror and I felt sick. I wasn't providing for my family. And this is deep programming that I've had since I was a kid. Every cell in my body vibrated with shame, with guilt, and frustration. And I did what any level-headed person would do. I got into multi-level marketing, selling a $5,000 water ionizer. And I tried everything. I was lugging gallons of free miracle water as gifts to friends. I was luring prospects into joining the cult, company presentations. I was driving to water stores who didn't know about the product, and I was cold calling. And yes, it sucked. I wasn't getting any sales, so I drove to more events. I went to more parks. I made more pitches. And after 4 months, all I had to show for it was my very own $5,000 water machine. You have to buy one to become a distributor, after all. A lack of energy, and of course, many strained relationships. Meanwhile, I was still teaching tennis. I was playing my violin at the odd gig and making no more money than I was previously. Hard work was not paying off for me at all. Now, my definition of hard work is suffering through a task in hopes of achieving some particular outcome. Gary Vaynerchuk and the hustle culture eulogize it. The truth is, you can force, control, and manipulate your way into favorable outcomes. You can work longer hours. You can do more, and you'll most likely reach your goal. It's just going to take you a really long time, and it's going to wear you out. You'll look up years later wondering where all of your time went, wondering why it's so freaking hard, and wondering if there's a better way. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. That was Nikola Tesla. Science shows that the atom, the fundamental building block of all solid things in our universe, is not solid. In fact, it's only about 0.00001% matter. Our planet, our solar system, and our universe, then, is 99.9999% energy. Energy is measured in frequency, and frequency carries information. So let's say you and I are on a road trip, and I want you to experience some really kick-ass classical music. So I tune the dial to 91.5, and suddenly we're rocking out to Beethoven. But we finish that song, and you want me to hear some Led Zeppelin. So we change the dial to 93.7. And each one of those frequencies, FM stands for frequency modulation, each one of those frequencies carries different information. And the only way we can receive the information on that frequency is to tune our dial to that frequency. In other words, there must be a frequential match between the signal and the receiver in order to receive that information. Now, how does this apply to you? Well, your body sends and receives frequency. Your thoughts produce measurable electromagnetic frequencies that we can measure with EEGs, and your emotions produce measurable electromagnetic frequencies that we can measure in the heart with EKGs. In other words, your thoughts and emotions broadcast a field of electromagnetic frequencies that extend beyond your body, carry specific information or intent, and communicate with every atom in the universe because everything is energy. So let's take it a step further. Let's say I invite you to my house and tell you to bring a tuning fork, a microphone, and a bottle of wine. It should be fun, after all. We mic up my violin, which is tuned to the same frequency as the tuning fork. You strike the tuning fork, and suddenly we both hear the violin vibrating into the microphone, even though I didn't play it. This is what happens with resonant frequencies. Now, as Dr. Joe Dispenza said, thoughts are electrical and feelings are magnetic. Your electromagnetic frequencies resonate with people, circumstances, opportunities, and events that are of a similar frequency. This is why you like people that are like you. This is why you're watching this video right now. This is why you tend to attract the same kinds of experiences in your life. Now, put all of this information to the side for a second and think about what I said earlier. People feel separate from what they're trying to create and try to make up for it with massive action. So if you want to achieve some big goal, you have a concept in your head that says, here's where I am and there's my goal way over there. And you feel a certain sense of lack, of separation, of wanting and longing. And the truth is, the bigger the goal seems, the more separate you tend to feel from it. And the more separate from something you feel, the more effort you'll have to put in to accomplish your goals. The more energy you'll have to expend, and the more exhausted you'll be. The more stress you'll feel. You must stop looking at massive action as the only way to get what you want if you want to achieve everything you want to achieve and live in peace and harmony. It is possible. Now, to do this, all you have to do is use the Creating from Energy protocol to change your energy so that you can attract what you need into your life. And before we get into that, I'd just like to invite you, if you like this information, to join our newsletter. We put out a newsletter every week where we outline specific tools and principles that allow you to create the life of your desire and to make a really positive impact in the world. The link to that is in the description. So here is the protocol, and here's how it works. The first thing you want to do is decide what you want. The first thing you want to do is decide what you want and write it down. Now, a lot of people have trouble with this step, and this is because they've never given themselves the chance to dwell on what they want, or because they're listening to what everyone else tells them they should want. Not everyone wants fancy cars, a new relationship, a multi-million-dollar business, a house with a white picket fence. However, we are all wired for community, connection, and contribution. And any success that you create for yourself will always need the balance of helping others to become successful. So when it comes to deciding what you want, be as specific or as broad as you'd like to be. The more specific you are, the clearer your vision, the more coherent the electromagnetic frequency will be, and the more powerful your intentions will become. Now, as a warning, the best possible outcome that you can imagine is the least amazing way something can actually come to you. So let's say you want a new car, and you might assume that you'll need to make more money every month so that you can afford the payments. Well, there are actually an infinite number of ways that you could get that new car. You could win the lotto, win it in a raffle, receive the car as a gift. You could trade your current car to a friend who has the car that you want. You could be the 103rd person that walks through the dealership and therefore win it. And the fact of the matter is, if you're trying to figure out how to get the car, you'll be severely limiting the ways in which it can find you, because you're imagining from a place of your current level of ignorance. And we're all ignorant, but we can only think about how things have happened. We can't imagine the way things will happen. Recently, I was doing some video editing on my laptop, and I was frustrated because it took forever just to get the files on the timeline. And I'm, scratching my eyes out. I'm kicking the table. And in that moment, I decided I wanted a new computer. And when I started looking at computers, the ones I wanted were upwards of $3,000. And not that I couldn't, but I didn't want to spend that much. I knew I was going to get a computer that I loved, so I stayed in a positive state. And I didn't deny myself of it. I just kind of filed it away, decided what I wanted. And one day I was browsing Facebook Marketplace, and I found a 2021 Apple desktop computer that originally sold for like $2,500. And a woman needed to sell it because she was moving. So I read the reviews on the model, people were raving about it, and she sold it to me for $500. And that's exactly how it will happen when you stay open to all the possibilities. So decide what you want, write it down, and then step 2 is write down how you will feel when you have it. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you are a sender and receiver of electromagnetic frequencies. Your thoughts are primarily electric and your feelings are magnetic, and this is based on the research by Dr. Joe Dispenza. When you combine a clear thought with powerful, positive emotions, you are broadcasting an electromagnetic signal that extends beyond your body and that resonates with everything, everyone, and everywhere in the universe that match that frequency. So you might expect to feel joy, awe, love, peace, gratitude, exhilaration, or any number of other great feelings. As Neville Goddard said, feelings is the secret. You can't think about what you want without combining a powerful emotion and expect to receive it and expect to change your energy. Emotion is energy in motion, and your emotions act as the magnet that are drawing your desires towards you. This is actually physics. This is not woo-woo. This is exactly how the universe works. So you must feel the feelings of having already received what you want, and here's how you do it. You use a technique I like to call scripting. So you are the writer, director, and actor in your own life. So it's time to write the script that you want to direct and that you want to act. So get out a piece of paper and write out the scenes that will play themselves out in your world. So for example, I wake up at 6 a.m. next to the love of my life and give deep thanks for another day on this planet. I feel the plush carpet under my feet as I head down for my morning meditation. After I feel my connection to the universe, I grind the beans of my favorite coffee and stare out at the dew glistening on the grass. Now, you can continue this exercise and write out the entire day. And I've done this, and it's incredibly powerful. That's how we moved into this house. I did this exercise, and it happened exactly the way that I wrote it out. You can do the whole day, or you can just select certain scenes. You know, perhaps you write, I'm riding home in my new Tesla, listening to my favorite band, smell the new leather, and feel my, hands wrap around the steering wheel. I take a sip of delicious coffee, I floor the accelerator, and I scream at the top of my lungs. Now, it's important to understand how scripting works and why it works. What you're doing is you're getting your body and mind into a certain state of being. You are using it to focus your thoughts and to excite your emotions. And this is altering your vibrational frequency. Few key important things to remember. Script everything in the present tense. So don't say, I will have X, Y, and Z. Do say, I have X, Y, and Z. The next thing is use sensory vividness. So incorporate descriptions of smell, taste, touch, sight, and hearing as a complete map of what this experience will be, and have fun with this. Next, you want to record your script in your own voice. Now, once you've written your script, you're going to read it out loud, and it's crucial that you get used to actually speaking your intentions into existence verbally. You can listen to someone like me tell you about this, but it's a whole other ballgame when you're speaking the script. What you're doing is you're literally creating cymatic frequencies. That's what sound is. And those frequencies are energy, and that energy carries information. So let's take this opportunity for you to feel this. What I'd like you to do is say these affirmations out loud with as much enthusiasm as you can conjure up. All right? There's someone in the other room. Just say, hang on a second, I'm creating my new future. I am whole. I am abundant. I am worthy to receive. I am a master manifester. I am living my highest excitement. Now let's do that one more time. And this time, let's make the tone positive, but with a calm certainty, almost as a matter of fact. I am whole. I am abundant. I am worthy to receive. I am a master manifester. I'm living my highest excitement. When you begin to speak your world into existence, you will see the reflection in your external reality. So record your scripts. I just use the voice memos on my phone. And then listen to this script every day for 30 days. You will be shocked by what happens. And finally, let me know in the comments section. Let us know your affirmation to yourself. Spread the positivity that you've created down below. There might be someone listening to or watching this right now that needs to hear your affirmation. Also, sign up for my free newsletter, links in the description, and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss our next episode. I want to thank you so much for watching this. Talk to you soon.